Last year we built an epic adventure van and we love it, but the lighting is terrible. So in this video, we're going to go from this busted setup to this brand new kit from Auxbeam. We're working on the van again. I've got it pulled into the garage about as far as it'll fit, which is enough to get under it, which is nice. And we are doing lighting in the van. Auxbeam was really cool to send us some upgraded lighting for the van. They asked us if we wanted some lights, and we said yes, because when we went to the West Coast this summer, driving at night was downright dangerous in this thing. The current lighting situation is awful. It's got old headlights that don't put out much light just because they're old and scuffed up and all that stuff. There was an aftermarket light bar added to this thing at some point, but it's like completely fried. It like only a third of the LEDs turn on and they're not bright. I have no idea what's wrong with it. It's just, you know, it's just a piece of junk. So Auxbeam was really cool, and they sent us this 32-inch light bar to replace the light bar that's busted in the van, and also a 6-button switch panel that we're going to install to control it. And that's going to be cool because we'll be able to install other accessory lights later, and it's going to make it really simple to wire it and wire up switches in the van. Now, I actually started on this project like almost 2 months ago when we were in the old shop, and somehow lost all the footage for it. But the good news is you didn't miss much. All I've done is find a great place to mount the box under the hood. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm actually going to uninstall it now because I want to set the whole thing up on the bench because I want to test some things. I've got some questions about how I'm going to wire up the running light on this light bar. All right, I got all the parts here on the bench so I can mock wiring this thing up to our lithium battery here. Now, the light bar actually comes pre-wired with a harness, plug and play. Literally just like put the positive and negative on the battery. It's already got relays and a switch on it, and it's like light bar on, running light on, and you can even switch between the running light wire that's in there now and this yellow wire and get this dope amber running light, which is what I want. Since we've got the switch panel that we're going to wire this up to, I'm actually going to, and this says in the instructions it's the right way to do it, is to go ahead and cut this relay piece from the harness here. So that's cool. I'm actually going to keep the inline fuse, the double relays, and my 2 switches that are pre-wired all as one thing, and I can splice this onto something else if I want switch power later. But I'm going to cut it right here at the relays, and then this will be my wiring that I pull through the van into the switch block here. Light, running light, and amber light. Perfect. Oh, it's alive. So now that we've got everything hooked up here, I can start testing some things out. I know that these relays can be programmed to be like moment switches. So like while you hold it, it's on. When you let go, the power goes off. Or they can be toggle off and on. And so what I've got is right now I have, let's see, the main light beam hooked up to button number 1 here on a 30 amp fuse. And then I've got my yellow running light hooked up to fuse number 5, which is one of our 10 amp fuses. I don't have the white running light hooked up at all. I might hook it up to number 6. Point here is that I want the running light to come on when the van comes on. And there are no accessory fuses under the hood in the van. They're all in the cabin. I'm going to have to pull this daytime running light wire inside the cab of the van to wire it up. So I'm hoping that there's a way to configure this thing where one of these switches, like it can have a memory. Like if it's on when I turn the van off, when I turn it back on, it comes back on, because then I can just leave my running light on. And then I might hook them both up where I can toggle it. But let's see if we have a light. Heck yeah, we do. We got a red LED saying it's on. That's beautiful. And let's check our running light. Absolutely. That's dope. So we could totally hook up the white running light too if we wanted to. Let's do it. amber running light, white running light. And I don't think they can run at the same time. Amber, white, main light bar. Heck yeah. So let's test some scenarios. If I have my amber running light on, and I turn the key off on the van, and then I turn the key back on, it's off. I have to like turn that on manually. That's less than ideal. All right, so I was able to get the Bluetooth amp connected to the switch panel. What I did find is there's sort of a memory function. If I have the running light on, or any other combination of lights on, and I turn the key off on the car, which I'm simulating by disconnecting power, when I turn the key back on, if I press the little power button here, it turns all the accessories back on. It's so that it doesn't create a large power draw on the battery when you're starting the motor. You know, if I don't like that, I can find a way to splice this accessory wire and this running light wire so that it's always on. But honestly, it's pretty bright. It might be kind of nice to be able to turn that off at night. So I'll think about it. And you can change the brightness and the colors with the app. You can also do it through some button presses here on the controller. I'm going to go ahead and put my covers on these buttons. The switch panel comes with like 60 different reusable button covers. It says they're reusable. Yeah, for like everything you might have in there. Light bar, cubes, roof, rear, fog, all kinds of stuff. So I'm definitely going to be putting our light bar sticker on here. How's it go? Got that kind of crooked. Light bar. Ha. DRL, yes, definitely the DRL. Light bar, DRL, and bumper. I'm going to black out the rest. There we go. All right. Now, all decorated. Love it. First thing I want to do is uninstall this old light bar because I'm going to try and reuse its wiring. There's a switch wired up in the cab to that thing, and I want to use the wires for that switch as a pull wire to pull my new wires for my switch panel through so that I don't have to figure out how to route that because it's kind of tricky to get in there. Believe it or not, we're going to have to drop this bumper, guys. There's no way that they had to have taken the bumper off to install this thing because the screws where it's screwed in are behind the frame rails. Pipe. Hell yeah. Okay, I've looked at this a bunch, and as crazy as it sounds, I've decided that the way I want to mount this is to put 2 bolts straight through the front of this bumper, because it's the only way to get the light bar centered up in the slot there. And I've messed around with the mounting brackets that came with it. If I wanted to like bend metal and weld, we could come up with some better brackets, but I'm not going to mind a couple bolts on the front of the bumper. We can probably make them look cool, and this light's going to make it look cool anyway. right, I got the bumper reinstalled without too much trouble. And I found out we have a block heater. It's just an AC power cord dangling under there. So I zip tied that up out of the way to the frame. We reinstalled. The new light bar looks so good. I can't wait to wire it up. In order to get there, I need to uninstall the old wiring from the old light bar, which I pulled out to here. Take that all the way back to where it passes through to the cab for a switch underneath the steering wheel. I didn't explain it earlier, but the relay board where like the solid state relays and the fuses are, this is where we wire all of the lights into the system. This is going to go under the hood, not inside. And that's so we can run the power supply to all of our lights from the battery to here with some big thick cables and not have it run too far. I wish I could put it over here by the battery, but unfortunately there was nowhere else to put it except for the spot I found on this side. And then we'll run all of the wires for our light bar back here into the panel, and we've got to get the accessory power that I talked about when the van's turned on from a fuse block underneath the driver's, it's like in the driver's footwell. And then we've got to get our 4-pin communication for the switch pods. We've got to get these two wires pulled in from the cab. So we're going to use the old wiring for the old light bar as a pull cable for it. Stupid. Wow. This is the most overdone half-assed job I've ever seen. Like, seriously, you took the doghouse off to wire up this broken thing? Stupid. This is the most elaborate half-assed job I've ever seen. It is so complicated, but also poorly done. I don't think this was the best spot to go from the cab in. Yes! Cool, now we gotta get all this past this stupid plug. That's dumb. There we go. We're in business, folks. Okay, I got everything untangled in the cab. So now I'm gonna take my pass-through wires, which are these bad boys, and I'm gonna electrical tape them on the end of those wires, and I'm gonna pull through from the top here, pull these through with them. I am gonna have to extend this one quite a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some excess wire on the end of this and pull that whole mess through, and then we'll clip it on the other end. Spare. There. We did it. Oh my lord. Freaking did it, bros. Oh. That feels nice. Good enough. That was easy. By the way, off camera, I had already hooked this fuse tap into my little fuse box down here. And I've already tested that this one gets accessory power. Any crimp. Please don't come out. Big crimp. Big crimping. Are you crimped? Looks like it. Wonderful. This is look at that. That's dope. in. Hell yeah. I think I can get through there. Alright, that had some very tedious moments, and I scraped in my hands a lot, and said a lot of cuss words, but we got through it. Stupidest fucking, dumbest fucking, spring fucking loaded. I'll give you the full look tomorrow, after we finish the headlights and gotten everything cleaned up. But I will grant you just this one quick test to see everything working. All right, the last thing we've got to do to call this project done is install these new headlights in the van. Auxbeam did not send these headlights to us. I bought these myself, but I wanted them to really finish out the look here. And hopefully these are going to be a plug-and-play replacement. They also came with wiring harnesses in case I need to manually wire some stuff. And then they've got an integrated, I think they can do a blinker around the rim as well as a daytime running light. I like the daytime running light on the light bar. I don't think I'll be using that. And the blinker, I'm not sure I'll be wiring that up either. But, you know, you can see you've got little wires here. So if you want to tap into your blinker circuit, you just like tie this wire into your blinker on that side and it should work. So we'll see when we get in there. But I think I'm just going to go with the headlights for now because we need some headlights really badly on this van. Oh, and it's like almost 50 degrees outside. It's been below freezing for 2 weeks, so we're gonna do this in the driveway. Nice. Old, new. These lights turned out so great. I love the look. I can't wait to show it to you. Before I do, I just want to say thanks one more time to Auxbeam for sending us the lights and the switch pod. This is their AR600 switch panel and their SP series 32-inch light bar. They're awesome. We've got links for them down in the description below, and if you use those links to purchase something from Auxbeam, we do get a little commission on that. It helps support the channel, so we appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. You ready to check out this van?
again.
That's our amber running line.
Let's
The
try it.
camera makes that actually look a lot brighter than it is.
It's not that bright.
Okay.
It's like the brightness of a regular campfire.
Boom! Are you kidding me?
Wait, look at.
No, the headlights don't matter at all.
Yeah.